Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this bonus episode of the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with Wendy Y. Bailey. I am indeed Wendy Y. Bailey. It's been a couple of weeks. We've been on hiatus from the bonus episodes, and I'm excited to come back to you and speak on a topic that was chosen by the members of my Facebook community. So it's appropriate because today's topic is all about how to turn your Facebook group into a movement. So if you're here and you're watching me across multiple platforms, I'm in my Facebook private group, I'm in my Academy Facebook private group, I'm on my profile, I'm on my page, I'm also on LinkedIn, and I'm on YouTube, the Wendy Y. Bailey channel, and the Profitable Coaching Society channel. So if you're watching me, be sure that you grant, hey Danetta, that you grant StreamYard permission so that I can see your comments. If you are watching on any of those platforms and you're catching the replay, be sure that you type replay in the comments. Be sure that you type replay in the comments. Let me introduce myself. I'm Wendy Y. Bailey. I'm a 19-year veteran business and sales coach. And I've seen a lot of things in the marketplace, and I have opinions and philosophies about a lot of things. And I try to share what works for my clients. I also share what works for me. So today's topic is sort of a what works for me topic. I've had, let's see, I think I've had probably about 8 or 9 groups since groups started on Facebook. I'm an early adopter of Facebook. I joined Facebook in about 2008. And when I joined Facebook, I don't know that they actually had groups at that time, but over the years, and especially in the last 6 to 9 months, Facebook has beefed up what they do in groups and what's available to you to do in groups. I'm going to talk about it from a perspective of how do you create a group. I'm not going to give you the tactical things, but I am going to talk to you about sort of how you want to think of your Facebook group and the strategy associated with your Facebook group and how you create a movement around that. I went to look up movement in the dictionary, and movement is changing your place, changing your physical location. And I thought, well, that's not the definition I want. So I came up with my own definition. When you create a movement, it means that you're highly engaged in working with, supporting, connecting with the people who are part of your group. That's the context for this episode. Okay. So if you don't have a Facebook group, this is a great time to consider it based on the things that I'm going to share. Again, if you're watching on the replay, please be sure to type hashtag replay to let me know that you were here, that you tuned in, wherever you're watching me. If you're watching me and you want to share a comment or ask a question, it's a great opportunity for you to do that as well. So let's kind of jump into talking about Facebook groups. When I think of Facebook groups, everybody has one. Everybody has a Facebook group. And I'm almost not exaggerating when I say that. There are tons of people who have Facebook groups. And what I've seen, particularly in the past, I'm going to say 60 days, is people reaching out to me, becoming my friend so that they can then invite me to their group. That's not a great strategy in my mind. Okay. Or they have their marketing assistant send me a message. One person sent me a message on LinkedIn and kind of, engaged in a conversation. Hey, how you doing? How's coaching going? How's life? How's your family? All that kind of stuff. Then they said, I have a great group over on Facebook and I'd love for you to be a member. And I looked at who it was because I thought I was talking to that person. And I'm already a member of that group. So that was my response. I'm already a member of the group. So to me, that sort of contrived way of building your group is not authentic. That's my philosophy. That's my opinion. When you have a Facebook group, you want to encourage, invite, but you also want to build interest and attraction for your group. That's not about you beating the bushes to get people to join. I see people who have, 3, 4, 5,000 people in their groups, but they don't do it by doing that. They do it by connecting. They do it by partnering. They do it by, collaborating with people. And all of that is how they got their numbers. right? So let me just tell you 5 things that are going to help you if you're looking to create a Facebook group and move it or transform it into a movement. The first time I was part of a Facebook group that was a movement was about 5 years ago. And I had been out of the marketplace for about 15, 18 months. And when I came back, it was the first group that I jumped into. And the thing that I loved about the group that made it more of a movement to me is these 5 things. First of all, there was connection. There was a real sense of who's in the group and how do I connect to you and how do you connect to us. There was a real sense of sharing. So, people, the group leader was sharing information. And in addition to sharing information, there was some sharing from the people who were in the group. There was a lot of rapport in the group with the group leader and among people. There were lots of events and activities that people could engage in, events and activities that took place right there in the group. There's a lot of posting. So when I talk about building rapport, I'm talking about the connection that really creates the engagement, that really creates the rapport, because you get to know, like, trust, and experience the sense of humor with people. So there were Facebook Lives that were done in the group. There were opportunities to learn from other people outside of the group that maybe you would have had to pay to access their value, right? But they were free inside of this group. And I paid attention to all of that because I was like, this is really a movement. It's not just a group. It really is a movement. That's what you want your Facebook group to be, a movement, something that transforms the members. So I said connection is really important. Building rapport is the second piece. The third piece is value. When you have a Facebook group, and this goes for a LinkedIn group as well, when you have a group, you want to add value. That means that you're sharing your expertise, you're giving tidbits of content, you're sharing posts, you're doing, I said a minute ago, Facebook Lives, you're creating value for the people who are part of your group. And based on that value, you can see the growth happening as well. Value also can be translated as fun. People want to be part of something that's fun. Okay, one of the things that I like to do in my group is entirely open, and you can find out more about my group. Let me just send you the link so you see it. Profitable Coaching, there we go, profitablecoachingsociety.com. You can see it scrolling at the bottom. In my group, it's totally open. And what I mean is I don't have to approve every post. That means my community can go live, and I encourage that. To teach something of value to the rest of the community. Okay. My group is also live so that people who have other areas of expertise that are beyond mine or not included in what I do can share their expertise. I'm not the one who knows it all, but I want members to support one another in that way. Okay. The other thing that I do is I have some kind of signature days. I do fun stuff where I'm like, post your favorite selfie, or, if you had to come on stage, what would the theme song be playing today? Right? How was your week? How are your goals? How are you doing with your goals? Can I support you in some way? Can we support you in some way? So all of that is about making it value added. It's also about the kind of growth that you want to experience in your Facebook group as well. So connection, rapport, value, fun, and growth. So there's a strategy to all of this that I want to make sure I give you since I'm here and I'm talking about it. And remember, you can leave questions if you're watching the replay, and I'll come back and I'll ask the questions on whatever platform that you ask that question, okay? Because I want to make myself available to you. The strategy around having a group is pretty simple. The first thing is all about one of those evangelical topics that I talk about all the time. It's because it's that important. When you know your ideal client, that's who you want to be part of your group, because you're really leveraging the group to do a lot of other things in your business, right? So you've got to focus your group members on being ideal clients. You've got to know your ideal clients. You've got to know, what their core problem is. You've also got to be in a place where you can serve up value without giving away the farm. right? Big value, deep value, meaningful, significant value, right? So that people want to stay connected to you and what's happening within the group. Okay, so you've got to know your ideal client. You've got to know very clearly who your ideal client is. One of the ways that can help you with your ideal client in your group is those 3 questions that they have that you can use. 3 very simple questions. With those 3 simple questions, you can find out what they are, what kind of work that they do. Okay, give them options, give them a drop down menu so that they can tell you what they do. In my group, I'm working primarily with coaches, speakers, consultants, trainers, industry experts, marketplace leaders. And so my drop down says, what are you? Are you a coach, a consultant? Are you a speaker, or are you other? And whenever somebody checks other, I know that they're in that industry expert. The next question actually confirms that for me. The second question I ask is, what's the greatest challenge you're having now? So they give you a sense of what they want to be fed with when they come to your group. Okay. So in my group, when I ask that question, I hear things like marketing, finding clients, getting more speaking gigs. All of those things are challenges for my ideal client, and it confirms when they answer it that way that they need to be there. The third question, I think there are 4 questions, but the third question is, where can I send the piece of content, the high value content that I have to give you? And then they give me their email address. And that helps me from a strategic perspective move people from my Facebook community, my Facebook group, connecting with me there, to my, which is a temporary residence, to my permanent residence, which is my email list. Whenever you're doing anything on social media, your goal, your job, your intentional way of strategically doing what you do in your group has to be about moving people to your permanent residence. That's your list, right? So you offer something of value so people can access that. My gift at the Profitable Coaching Society is a special report. It's called What Stops Your Sales Success and What to Do About It. So when you're talking about your group, you can say, when you join my group, I'm going to send you a special report on blah, 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 whatever your premium content is. And in the banner of the group, I actually have a picture of that. My team put together a great banner that says, click here for this if you haven't gotten it. They automatically pull the email address and the person's name to add them to my list. But if somebody slips through the cracks, they can still get the gift because it's right on display, right there in the cover banner for the group. So leverage those 3 questions. And then, of course, you want to make sure they follow the group rules. No bullying, no spam. There's some standard rules that Facebook gives you, and you can edit that and alter that as you will. Take full advantage, and I'm moving on, take full advantage of the opportunity to describe the group and what it's going to offer. This is an emotional promotional copywriting opportunity. Don't just say this group is going to talk about, widgets. That's kind of always what I go to. You want to say in the description, what makes this group a movement? What makes it so attractive for people to be part of it? Because people read those descriptions. Some people don't, but you want the description to really be inviting, to encourage client attraction. You want it to really spell out what you can do and how you can support people and serve people when they become a member of the group. Because there are so many people who have Facebook groups, you've got to take advantage of every opportunity to really bring people into your group. And every so often, one of the things that I do is I actually I invite people that I know that are my Facebook friends. And every now and then they accept. They bypass those 3 questions because I've extended the invitation. Okay. And I'm okay with that. But if they want to get the gift, it's still in the link. I mean, it's still in the banner, the cover art of the group, so they can still access that, which I think is amazing that they can do that. The thing that I really love about the group, in any group you have, at one point, I think I said I had 8 or 9 groups, and now I have 2 active, and I'm about to, actually launch another one to accompany our program. The reason that I have so many groups is because Facebook has made it easy so you don't have to go and get someone to build out the same features that you're offered in Facebook. Hey, Thisha, good to see you. The thing that I love about the Facebook juice and the Facebook engine is they make it easy for you to create something that's about social learning. They make it easy for you to, break out into rooms if you want to do that. You can use third-party integrations like Zoom to go into your Facebook group. I'm using StreamYard. You can use StreamYard to go into your group live. I'm doing it on multiple platforms, so it's not just my society, it's also my academy group. And you can go live on Facebook, and they've just made it easy for you to do that. Technically, you just can't beat what Facebook does in terms of an engine for your group interaction and engagement. The last thing I want to say is when you have a Facebook group, it's so important that you understand the strategy of your group. I'll give you just a high level glimpse at my strategy. When I do an episode of the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show, I always extend an invitation to people to come and join my society. I tell them about the free piece of content, the complimentary premium content that I'm going to give them. I talk about that in my invitation. And, I move them from watching an episode of the show to joining the group. And then once they join the group, I offer opportunities for them to join my list. Again, with those 3 questions, sharing an email address, sending them premium content. And also, once they're part of my list, I'm offering opportunities to serve them through my programs, through complimentary masterclasses or webinars, or even paid programs. So the strategy is very simple. Move people from the show to the group, from the group to my list, and from the list to programs, complimentary and paid programs. So you've got to have a strategy if you're really serious about building a group. Thank you, Zakia. You've got to have a strategy around building the group. You've got to have a strategy around engaging and enrolling people. There are 4, I'm going to say 4. There are 4 tenets of really looking at how you serve your client. I actually have 5, but I'm only going to give you 4 today. The first is client attraction. So every opportunity you have to talk with somebody about the group, you need to talk about that. If you're on Clubhouse, invite people to join your Facebook group. Okay. And very simply, I have gone and gotten a domain name that I point to the link to my group on Facebook. So it makes it easy for me to say profitablecoachingsociety.com because it's directing them straight to Facebook. I have the same thing on Clubhouse, profitablecoachingclub.com. That sends people to my club on Clubhouse. So be creative about how you do it, but make sure that you're extending an opportunity to attract people to your group, your most ideal clients specifically to your group. So client attraction is the first part. Leverage client attraction to get people into your group, to invite people, to welcome people, to engage with people in the group. That leads me to the second one, client engagement. When you are looking at your ideal client and you want to attract people to your group or your programs or anything else, you've got to be engaging with them. It's not enough to just push information to people. Ask people questions. Share something funny about the work that you do. Share a challenge that you've seen people do. Give people an opportunity to respond to that across all platforms. Like you can do that in an IG post, you can do that in a LinkedIn post. Everything has to be about engagement, right? Everything has to be about once the person stops and is looking at what you've written, they want to react to it. They want to like it, love it, support it on LinkedIn. They want to like it, care about you, laugh. They want to hug. That's engagement. Okay. The more engagement you have, the greater your opportunity for the third one, client enrollment. When people are really engaged in what you're offering, and I'm saying give them a glimpse of who you are as a person, but also give them an opportunity to comment on what you've shared. Maybe it's something that you experienced that was a challenge. Maybe you saw a client through things. I was kind of tickled. I was scrolling through LinkedIn, and I don't know, I guess I wasn't tagged in it, but someone who did copywriting for me actually had my photo and my testimonial as a post on LinkedIn. And I was like, oh, cool. It made it really easy for me to react to it and then comment that it was a joy to work with her. Same thing in reverse. Same thing in reverse, based on, looking at, okay, it looks like my LinkedIn is not streaming right, but I'm going to keep moving. Based on seeing that, I was able to react and I was able to comment. And the beautiful thing about commenting is wherever you are on all of the social media platforms, the more you engage, the more you comment, the greater the juice is you get from the algorithm of the platform. Doesn't matter which one it is, right? So when you see posts, hey, Dorian, good to see you. When you see posts where people are liking, and there are like 5,000 people who have reacted to it, that's great algorithm juice for the post. But the people who are posting and reacting are also getting the benefit of that algorithm juice. Okay. So think about that when you are creating posts across social media to bring people into your community. Okay. And when you bring people into the community, it's almost like inviting them into your home. Open the door, welcome them, make sure they know you're glad to see them, make sure they know you joined and it wasn't just something, you did and nobody even saw it or acknowledged it in some way. You want to be welcoming. That's building rapport, that's creating the connection, and adding value means that you're not just sharing inspirational quotes. I share those from time to time. You're sharing stuff that they need to think about related to your work, right? You're sharing information that tells them this is what I do and this is how I can serve you. And I've got a really intentional perspective about it that I want to share. What do you think about it? Right? So it's the engagement part of it too. So I said client attraction, client engagement, and I'm going to say client enrollment is the next one. It's great to add value all day long, but at some point, people need to invest in what you offer. When your ideal clients are part of your Facebook group turned into a movement, they want to know what the next thing is that you're going to offer. They want to be part of it so that they can enroll in it. And when they enroll in it, it's a huge way for you to continue serving them at a higher level, right? They get more of you. They get more access to your expertise and your knowledge and your wisdom. That's what you want. And then the fourth one I'm going to share is client service, ideal client service. Every step of the way, people need to know that you are caring for them. You're giving them some client love, even if they haven't paid you anything. People want to know that you care about what's happening. So sometimes from a time perspective, people can't always type out a long comment to whatever you've written, but they can respond in one word. So many of my posts that are designed for engagement in the group are just give me a one-word answer to this question. Give me your one-word thought to this, right? And again, every so often I do something fun, like I say, what's your favorite dish in one word? How many tabs? I asked this question the other day. How many tabs do you have open in your browser on your computer right now? There were a couple of people who said 9, and of course I was like 24. Hand over head with an emoji. Make the engagement and the service that you offer every step of the way fun for your clients. When I talk about service too, there's a standard of excellence that you should have when you are serving your ideal clients, even before they buy from you. Even before they buy from you. Yeah, I had too many tabs open, Dorian, let me just tell you. So when you think about that service, you need to be caring. You need to show them client love even before they've paid for it. The thing that I always want my clients who are part of my group or anywhere I am on social media to feel is, if WendyY is treating me like this and I haven't spent any money with her, if she's giving me all of this value, what's it going to be like when I actually pay to be part of her community, to be part of her academy, to be enrolled in one of her programs? That to me says volumes about how you interact on any platform. Quick story. one of my business besties was on Clubhouse, and the person who was hosting the room opened the room up for questions or people to come to the stage. And when she came to the stage, the host started coaching her, and she was very harsh in the coaching, right? So harsh that my business bestie was like, I don't ever want to go into her rooms again. You need to be the same person you are when you're working with paid clients versus when you're working with non-paid clients. That means you're accommodating. That means you are, focused on the relationships. Because I want to tell you, relationships are everything. There are people who have, seen me, heard me, and been like, I put you on my vision board. There are people who have seen me and heard me and sent me videos and said, oh, this person sounds like you, because they've only heard my voice on Clubhouse. So you need to pay attention to how you're interacting with people, because relationships are everything, and the service has to speak to the relationship and how you value the relationship. So I've been talking about how to take your Facebook groups and turn them into a movement. If you're here, I really want to see. I've, touched base with some people who have let me know in the comments that they're here. If you have questions and you're watching the replay, go ahead and type hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know you were here. If you have questions, post them, because I go through all of the platforms and make sure I address any questions that you have. So I've given you the 5 pieces you need to be focused on when you're creating a Facebook group that you want to transform into a movement. I've also talked about the strategy as well. This has been a bonus episode of the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with WendyY Bailey. Be sure that you are tuned into the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show. You can watch all of the episodes at profitablecoachingconversations.com. You can also join the society at profitablecoachingsociety.com. Thanks so much for being here and joining me live and watching the replay. I look forward to seeing you soon. Join the after party at the profitablecoachingsociety.com, at profitablecoachingsociety.com. That is the URL that will take you to my private Facebook group that I feel and truly believe I've transformed into a movement. Thanks so much for being here, everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye.